Hi everybody and welcome to Sharing Sunday with me, Helen Armstrong from Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments. It is Sharing Sunday and so I'm sharing with you a Z-fold card, and these are the measurements that you're going to need. These are in metric. There are lots of Stampin' Up demonstrators and other crafters out there who've got YouTube videos with the measurements in inches, but I translated it into centimetres for those of us in Europe. All right, I will put that to one side now. So we're going to make this type of card. It's a Z-fold card. It's quite easy to do once you have the measurements and you've done all the scoring. But first of all, today, what we need to do is do a little bit of stamping ready for the card that we're making today. I have already prepped the card sizes and bases and all the layers. I just need to do some stamping. So let's put that to one side, bring in our stamps, got our dies, some card and our ink pad. I'm using Secret Sea. Those of you who've watched my videos before will know that Secret Sea is my absolute favourite go-to. At the moment I prefer it to the black ink. Yeah, I just prefer it. It just gives a slightly softer look. Can I fit another one in? Let's just say, no, we won't bother with that. Okay, let's put those off to one side. Bring in this. What am I doing on this one? Oh, I'm doing a thank you. So I need to bring in my stamp. I'm just going to stamp it there. And then I'm going to use some old olive ink. One of my favourite ultimate greens. Just a stamp. And then I'm also going to use a blending brush. Oh, I should use my stencil brush. And I'm just going to build up some colour on my card. I'm going to cut out some leaves. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put my card into my ink as well. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now we need to do some cutting out. Close those ink pads. We don't need them anymore. I need to just grab my little Stampin' and Emboss machine. Let's cut out our leaves first and our sentiment. I'm just going to stick those on there, use some tape to hold them down. As you know, I prefer post-it tape to hold my dies in place. It just makes things so much easier, and not once have I had a tear on my paper. I'm lining this up so I can actually see a tiny bit of green. Got a cat hair on there, I don't know whether you can see. Tiny bit of green under that small circle that's cut out, and hopefully that means I've layered my die correctly. Not done this very well though, have I? It's old post-it tape. Okay, stick that down a bit better. So I hope you're all enjoying the long Easter weekend that we have here in the United Kingdom or elsewhere. And wherever you are in the world. Again, it's not sticking. The weather here is atrocious though today. Absolutely atrocious. Very windy and wet. Not the weather we normally expect on an Easter bank holiday weekend, especially is this year. Easter's quite late. I say quite late, with it being in April. Yeah, not expecting that at all. It's actually going to get almost into minus figures tomorrow. Let's just peel that off. Use those in a little while. Put that to one side. Okay, and we're going to run our thank you through. These dies are all the ones that are in the Lovely Blossoms. Blossom. I can't even think of what the what have I done with it? Lovely Arrangements. So it's all these dies come in the lovely arrangement set. It's a nice one for cutting out the sentiment. Now, you'll notice that when I'm putting my dies through, I'm having to put my top plate through slightly sooner than the bottom plate. Just makes the cutting easier. Yeah. So these small machines, they don't seem to, how can I put this, cut as well, unless you do that. So I tend to do that, layer it back a little bit. Let's get this cut out first. Just trying to do it so. I'm just going to do the one. So what I do is I put that back a little there, put that one forwards. And hopefully that goes it through. Yeah, it's just the sandwich is slightly different. Normally when you use the big one, you can just layer them one on top of the other with no overhang, but it's just better, I find, if you have an overhang with this. Right, so we've got that one. I don't think we need any more than that one. That's perfect. Right, okay, so we can just put all those down to one side. Move this out the way as well. Okay, bring in our bits that we have. So we're going to do a little bit of colouring. Got some embellishments that we're going to use. May use that, but may not. So I've already got some flowers cut out. We're going to colour this flower in. Got some leaves, and we've got the leaves that we've just done. I'm just going to poke these out with my scissors. Just realised that is not straight, but you know what, we'll go with it for now. I could turn it over and redo it. Let's just wait and see how we get on. First thing I'm going to do is just going to add a touch of colour to my flower. So I'm going in with the dark light petal pink, and then over the top, dark petal pink, and then I'm over the top with a light petal pink, just to blend it out a little bit. Okay, so I've got those bits ready. So we're going to start building our card. So you're going to need a card base at 28 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres. So this is this here, and I'm just going to fold it and burnish it before I put my paper on. You can do it after you put your paper on. I'm just going to do it before. So this is going to be the base of our card. I'm going to add our paper now to it. So I've chosen the paper from the Lovely Blossom Suite. I just think it's stunning. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. You could use either side of these papers. They have an A and a B side. Stampin' Up's DSP Designer Series paper. So this would be the A side and this would be the B side. So you could use either side. It would depend on what you were going to make. Just ensure that when you are cutting out, if it is a directional paper, that you make sure it's the right way around. So as some of you know, I am a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the United Kingdom. If you went on to Stampin' Up in the UK, you can search for a demonstrator, and if you put my name in, Helen Armstrong, I would come up. So if you are new to buying things from Stampin' Up, or you would even like to think about taking advantage of the great discounts that you get from being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, let me know. You can always find me also at pandrapops.com. You can send me a message. Yeah. So that would be great. You could send me a message if you wanted, you know, either any help or anything like that, or if you are interested in becoming a demonstrator, or you just want to just browse the products. If you go to stampinup.co.uk, it's all there. So we're now taking our second sheet. So this one is 25 centimetres by 8.5 centimetres, and I've scored it at 10 and 17.5. So again, I'm just going to burnish those folds. I've just got to remember which way around to do it. Yeah, so it sits like that on our card. So we're going to add our bits. This is what I say when we talk about directional pieces. Just realised, have I not cut the right sizes out? Oh, I have. I've got a spare somehow. Okay, so these are my two pieces. It's not my piece, that's the piece. I've double cut some of these pieces. There we go. Just ensure that's the right way round. So yeah, so I had to decide whether I wanted my stripes to be vertical or horizontal. So I went for vertical with these ones. Again, I'm using the B side this time of the paper. This Lovely Arrangement Suite has been so popular. And when you look at some of the papers and the stamps and dies you get with it, it's understandable why it has been so popular. Okay, as usual, I'm not taking my time when I'm doing the matting and layering. You would take your time doing this. I'm just doing this a little bit quicker because obviously I don't want the video to be too long. But I would hope you would take a little bit more care and attention than I have been doing. I'm also going to add our layer on this panel, which is going to have our sentiment on it. Oh, it's going to have a greeting in the middle. Okay, and before we do anything else, I'm also going to put the back layer on. And this is so you can write a greeting on the back of the card. And just realised, don't think I haven't put on this back piece. So this back piece would be 10 centimeters by, I think it's, let's have a look, get your ruler and have a measure. 10 centimeters by 13.5 is that back panel. Okay, so that's the front of our card, and then this is the bit that's going to go and do the fun fold. But first of all, I'm going to add my extra little bit. So I have cut this, which is the A side of this sheet, and I have cut it because I quite liked that. Is my main focal point. Again, matting and layering on the top, making sure that it's straight. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up one of my flowers. Excuse me, I'm going to have to sneeze. Chew. Chew. It is also the start of hay fever season here in the United Kingdom, unfortunately. Especially for me. I am going to re-stamp that sentiment. Just so I think I can get it a little bit better in the middle. Excuse me if my head comes in. That's better. Happier with that. Okay. I might layer that up. I think I will do. Right, we have one last thing to do on this panel first as well. I'm actually going to put one of these flowers just here, I think. And then we can do our sentiment there as well. Just ensuring that it's not going over the fold. Now we have one last big piece, and I am actually going to layer over the top of that because I want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back just to give it that height. And then I'm going to use some of our green leaves that we cut out earlier, and I'm just going to add those there. Again, just add a little more dimension, and then we're going to stick our sentiment on with some dimensionals. I bet you're wondering where all those dimensional pieces go. Unfortunately, while I'm doing this, they just either go on my desk or on the floor. So I do have some clearing up to do when we finish. Now, I'm very happy with that. If you have a look at this one, which is quite simple. So I just need to add the so very much. To it. Make sure that I'm layering it straight down. Okay. And then ensuring that I've got it. That's good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I might add something extra down here. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to add our flower to the back. It's always nice to have just that little bit extra on the back. I might even add our little leaf as well that we cut out. So again, just a little bit of glue, not too much. Excuse me, get a tissue. If anybody has a really good hack for hay fever, please let me know in the comments. Where are we going to put this? Should have maybe left a gap. You know what? I'm actually going to layer it under there instead. There we go. Okay, because I didn't leave a gap. Right, so now let's put the card together and then we'll add our embellishments. So this is the 2 bits together. And what you're going to do is you're going to try and ensure that when you layer them together, you get an even border at both sides and at the top. Now I'm eyeballing this. You could measure it if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm happy with if I just tilt it that way. Let me just check that. Right, okay, so I'm happy with that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on this side here so I can stick it down. And I've just moved it, haven't I? Okay, so I'm going to just stick that down, but ensure that when I do, it's where I want it to be. A good thing about the green glue is that we do have some wriggle room. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to put a tad bit of glue, so I'm just checking where I can come to. Let's put a bit of glue. So I can stick that one down. There we go. And that's it stuck down. And then we can open our card. Just going to add a couple of embellishments. So let's put flower centre in. And let's put a little flower centre in the middle of that one. And then I'm going to, let's have a look. I got my moody. I do. So, unfortunately, these embellishments are out of stock at the moment. They are coming back, but they are currently out of stock, which is unfortunate because they are gorgeous. Again, with our gorgeous old olive. Okay, so I've now got 4 embellishments on. I need 1 more. Should always have odd numbers. There's something about that. I've just realised you're probably not in shot with that now. There we go. Okay, so that is our card done. I hope you enjoy it. So which one's your favourite? Which colourway is your favourite? Is it the old olive or is it the, what are we going with? Which one's this one again? Petal pink. So is it old olive or petal pink? Oh, I'm not sure myself, to be honest. But these will fit in an A6 size envelope, so don't worry about that. I think I'm definitely the old olive because this was one I did, just a monochrome card I did a few weeks ago. I've not actually put an inside on it yet, but yeah, I think I'm definitely more down the old olive route. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. And again, I'll quickly just put that there so you can take a screenshot going forward and make some of your own. If you do make these, please post them in the comments, and I would love to see them. But also you can find me on Facebook at Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments. Yeah, I'm also on Instagram as well. All right, you take care, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. It does really help. And as always, everybody, have a wonderful Easter and craft your joy.